I'm Georgia. For my second book project, I read Zelda by Nancy MILFORD. Zelda is the wife of F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby.
Nancy MILFORD was born in 1904. She was the youngest of 6 children. After attending Oxford, she became an English novelist and journalist, writing articles in 1929. She was a regular for the writer of The Lady. She fell in love with 3 men who were considered unsatisfactory to her. In 1933, she married Peter Rodd, who she considered a delinquent bore, and therefore later divorced him in 1958. She wrote Zelda in 1970, and then 3 years later she died in 1973. Born July 24, 1900, in Montgomery, Alabama, Zelda was known to be a wild and a heavy drinker, especially at parties. This is true. However, she is also known to be talented, energetic, whimsical, vibrant, and an attention seeker. Because she was an attention seeker, it would lead to her jealousy, which is eventually the cause to her mental breakdown that placed her in many mental hospitals. As a young girl, she studied ballet, art, and surprisingly, literature. This helped her overcome her struggle of being dependent on Scott because she started her own career as an artist and a writer. She had 11 short stories and 12 articles written by her at the time of her death, which happened in 1948. To know how she died, you must read the book. An interesting fact about Zelda is she is the model for Daisy Buchanan in the story of The Great Gatsby, written by her husband, F. Scott Fitzgerald. If you have read the story of The Great Gatsby, this was not a good thing for Zelda to be the model of. F. Scott Fitzgerald was Zelda's husband and writer. He was a very private man. He was born September 24, 1896. After his first novel, he married the woman he loved, but after he and Zelda started becoming distant, he became a heavy drinker. Ironically, his drinking is what led him to meet Ernest Hemingway. After his wife became overly jealous of her husband and the woman he met she had a small mental breakdown, which was the idea for his next novel, Tender is the Night. After his wife had her third mental breakdown, he put her in a mental hospital and moved to Hollywood. Before he died, he had an incomplete novel and became a failed screenwriter. F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda had a child named Frances, later nicknamed Scottie after her dad, F. Scott Fitzgerald. She was born on October 26, 1921. You may think that Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald were very good friends. However, they were not. An interesting quote from my novel that also relates to Hemingway not liking F. Scott Fitzgerald is, "Golden wasted talent. If he would have had fewer pompous musings and little sounder education, it would have been better maybe. But any time you got him all straightened out and taking his work seriously, Zelda would get jealous and knock him out of it, leading them to become big competitors in the literary world. This also shows how Zelda was very jealous of her husband's work."
To know more about Zelda and the dramatic literary world of the 1920s, you must read the book Zelda by Nancy MILFORD.
Wait. Wait. Okay, do it again.
God.
Okay, wait. Okay, go. You gotta be quiet.
Okay, let's do that one more time.